Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtian here, and today guys, we're going to be going over some archetypes that can be fixed and become extremely relevant and extremely competitive with just one card coming off the ban list. What is that card? Stay tuned to find out. But first, before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe to the video, guys. It's going to be a fun one. I've been waiting to make a video like this for a while now. It seems like ban list season is just around the corner, so it seems just around the time to start speculating. Will this be more of a wish list potentially? And I'm not trying to make a prediction or anything. I'm just trying to talk about archetypes that can become, again, really relevant and really competitive with, again, just one card coming off the ban list. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into that countdown. Now, to start off our list, guys, I just want to go ahead and state that these decks were tier 1, potentially tier 0 at a certain point in time, but power creep has come to the point where these cards, especially coming back at just 1, can make the deck just viable enough. So I'm going to be starting off with Master Plan. Which Master Plan? Spiral Master Plan. Now, Spiral Master Plan was essentially the key reason why Spiral became a tier 1, potentially almost bordering tier 0 deck here in the TCG. The second that Spiral Double Helix, I should say, dropped here in the TCG, it made it easily accessible to go ahead and special summon Master Plan from your deck with the greatest of ease, having to have very little setup whatsoever. All you needed was really a drone and a super agent in your hand. You could go complete full combo, making sure you set up with your Spiral Sleeper plus protection as well. This was extremely oppressive back in 2000, I believe it was 2017, 2018 when this was really up this first tier 1, tier 0. Spiral has not done a single thing since then, since the banning of Master Plan. And realistically, guys, I think that with Master Plan coming back to 1, I think Spiral could really come back potentially as a tier 1 contender, just by being able to have that oppressive nature, being able to pop 2 cards. Now, it may not seem the craziest thing here in this format, especially in this format coming up, having to deal with so many negations such as sprites, such as the tier limit interruptions as well. Cashier not as big with the interruptions when it comes to negations, but it has its own way to interrupt you as well, so blocking out specific zones. Even with all this going against it, I think with Master Plan going back to 1, it can really be able to help out the deck and add a lot more diversity to this format, just because the second that Cashier comes out, it will add a second wave of tier 0 vibes, where it's still going to be a lot of tier limits, still going to be a lot of Cashier, but really we are just waiting for that balance to see exactly what the format's going to be, what it's going to be like. Until then, all we can do is speculate. But all I can say is Spiral Master Plan at 1 means big things for the TCG. Next on our list, guys, I have one of the best decks of early 2022, which was Prank Kid. I believe it was early 2022, if not late 2021, if I'm not mistaken. But Prank Kid was by far the best deck of that format. Being able to just continuously regeki your opponent's board, blowing up constantly, was so insane and so easy to do and so highly consistent with a 1-card combo engine. Now, don't get me wrong, we try to stay away from 1-card engines. Zodiac has been gone. A lot of other 1-card engines had just not existed as well because they become too oppressive. But it comes to the point where what is Prank Kids really going to do in this current format? It's going to do nothing against tier limit. And honestly, with all the negations that Sprite can put up as well, all the interruptions, I don't think you can do that much either as well. And also, again, with the Cashier being able to block out specific zones, which with Prank Kids, zones do matter to a certain extent, so you got to make sure you're able to put your combo pieces there correctly. And with the interruptions, I do not believe that Prank Kid would be as oppressive a deck as it once was. With Prank Kid's Meow Meow Mew coming back to 1, I think the deck could still be extremely relevant and potential tier 1 contender. And that would add, again, a lot more diversity. It was extremely fun deck to play. I personally have nothing but fond memories of this deck. Yes, when the adventure package came out, then they became a little bit too much. But there's easy ways around that, guys. Essentially, I mean, the Cashier engine has taken over as the engine of choice if you're going to be playing multiple engines and need another extra set of interruption, things like that. So I think adventure taking a bit more of a backseat and having Cashier take his place with Prank Kid, it makes the deck a little bit more fair in that instance as well. And overall, I think Prank Kid could come back as a tier 1 deck without completely taking over the meta with the current format we're currently in. In the very middle of the list, guys, the hump of the list, we have Zodiac Trident. Okay, so before you start flaming me in the comments, Zodiac is not doing anything in this current format with only one Dryden and no Broad Bull. Okay, let's just go ahead and get that straight. Broad Bull is still same band. Zodiac Trident at 1 really just gives the deck one pop. It gives it, yes, different combo lines, things like that, so you can go into potentially that Infinitrack card, which is nice, whatever. But let's be real here, guys. Tenki is at 3, okay? Which means popularity and people trying to scheming with the Zodiac cards, but they're just not going to do anything unless they have Zodiac Trident. It's just giving them one pop is not going to be that oppressive. The only real deck that it might hurt is Sprite, maybe, and that's because they need that level 2 on board in order to continue to keep extending. So with that being said, that is really the one deck that would suffer. It can Tearlament can destroy Zodiac. Let's go ahead in its current state. I would love to see a full power Tearlament versus full power, I should say, Zodiac battle. I think that would be fantastic. But how crippled Zodiac is right now, I think with one Dryden, it could still be a high rogue tier contender, definitely in this current format. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's probably going to be one of the most controversial ones on this list. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. We are nearing the end of the list, guys, at number 2, or when it's not really numbered, the penultimate, I should say, card on this list is Metal Foes Electromite. Electromite was the savior of all Pendulum decks. Unfortunately, it has been absolutely forgotten by the wayside by Konami. Just does that. They don't want this deck. They don't want Pendulums to be good. Essentially, even with all the wave of support and Pendulums doing an okay amount with Draco Slayers, they top here and there, which is kind of cute, kind of nice. They gave us back Monkey Board, which is nice. So we got back Skullcrow by Joker. We're getting back piece by piece. At this point, Konami just gave us back Electromite. I want to see some diversity in what we're playing. I want to see some Pendulum decks out there. I've only seen one Pendulum player at my locals in this entire year and a half that I've been essentially fully on back to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So let's just be real, unless you count DDD as Pendulum, but in that case, your boy got you covered. But let's be real here, it's not really a Pendulum deck, it just has Pendulum cards. There's a difference. So I think Electromite coming to 1 is definitely going to be a great way to add a huge dimensions of diversity to deck, pretty much putting every single Pendulum deck, especially Metal Foes as well, back into the limelight and back to being potentially competitively viable as well. I think this is a smart move, and Konami could make each and every single one of us happy by just sitting back and saying, all right, they've asked for it. Let's give them what they want. Let's put back Electromite to 1, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Triff, Pen Best Deck. And lastly, to round off the list, guys, I've been asking for this card to come back forever, guys. The number 1 card I need back is Masterpiece. Masterpiece is such a good card, such an oppressive, really just boss monster of a card, not affected by spells, traps, monsters, depending on what you tribute for it. It is just a powerhouse of a card. Given the way the current format is laid out, I think that Masterpiece at 1 is sufficient enough. Now, you can lead Dragonic Diagram at 1, no problem. I understand why that's at 1. I understand. Masterpiece can come back to 1 as well, though. You know, Masterpiece can come back and compete a little. Don't get me wrong. All right, listen. With as many crazy floodgates as there are in the current game, okay, Skill Drain is at 3 now. Okay, Soul Drain, I'm pretty sure has always been at 3. Okay, Macrocosmos, Defissured, all at 3 as well. These are all really. I could go list a whole list of pretty much Eldritch support that, you know, as in the floodgates that could now be transitioned, get rid of Eldritch, because I mean that's been gone by the wayside for a while now, and slap some True Draco in there, and it could be one of the best tier 1 decks right now. All I need is 1 Masterpiece and we are done. We are lit. We are good to go. Nothing's getting over this thing. I'm telling you right now. All I need is 1 Masterpiece. All the people want is just 1 Masterpiece. Now, if I'm on Copium, you let me know in the comment section down below. But these are the 5 decks that could come back. True Draco is absolutely phenomenal deck. It can be really consistent depending on how you're playing it, guys. So let me know what you guys think about these top 5 in the comment section down below. So far, we hit Prank Hits, Meow Meow Mew. We touched on Spiral Master Plan, Zodiac Trident. We touched on Electromite, and lastly, we did touch on True Draco Masterpiece. So let me know what you guys think of these 5 in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe if you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.